Time for another fireside chat. You've heard of food fasting, fasting from food, but have you heard of talk fasting? This is something that I found myself naturally doing a lot in my life. I just didn't really know until a certain time later that this was actually a healthy, good thing. And that is, during the day, I'm very active. I'm like a chipmunk. I'm doing all this stuff all day long. I'm going like crazy, 200 miles an hour. But as the night fell, something changed. When it got dark, the whole energy changed. I didn't want to be around people anymore. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to explain anything. I just wanted to shut down. And I guess that's natural for sleeping. But just like we have artificial lighting at night, we also have artificial speaking. I think in nature, if you look at the animals, they kind of quiet down too at night. Like, you don't hear anything. It's quiet. That I just find myself naturally talking less and less. And this is kind of interesting. And it might be a little weird to some people, but it's an interesting concept. And maybe if you're with the right person, this is something worth trying, considering. And that is, by the last few hours of the day, I don't talk that much, hardly anymore at all. And Kara and I, it's not a disrespect, it's nothing. It's actually a form of respect. People need their space. They need to gather their energies in and reflect and digest the day and think about what happened that day and wind down and shut all the systems down and just meditate, relax, do nothing. And just fast from talking. It's an amazing thing. It doesn't mean you have to not be together in the same room. It just means be quiet. Listen, chill, meditate. Just be in each other's space. Be in your own space. And the same thing in the morning. You know how they say breakfast, breaking the fast, you start to ease into the food. You don't have to go right to the heavy stuff. You kind of just start with something light and then work your way up to the heavier foods later in the day. Same thing with speaking. I notice I don't like to speak when I wake up. I don't want to be talked to. I don't want anything. I just want to be, again, left alone for the first 2 hours of the day. I don't want the phone to ring. I don't want anybody to ask me questions. And I think this is a natural thing. I think this is why people are crabby in the morning. They're not morning people because they don't have any time to be for themselves, to think, to hear their thoughts and figure out their life and what they're going to be doing and listen to their own mind. The last thing I want to see, when I wake up in the morning, it's a new life. I am a child, a brand newborn child with a whole new life of possibility, and I'm thinking of all the amazing things that are possible to happen, that could happen. And it's a miracle. It's just, life is a miracle. It's so beautiful, and I just want to soak it in. And I just want to just swim in that beautiful silence of life. The last thing I want is someone to come in and just break that silence and ask me some question about, stupid question about the day, and just brings the whole energy down. It's different. That magic, you don't want to break the magic. It's something beautiful that when you're with the right person and they get it and they do the same thing, and you can commingle but not have to say words. This is beyond words. It becomes this amazingly beautiful thing. Now, I know what some of you are going to ask. You say, well, what about intimacy at night? Aren't you sharing energies there? Yes, but it's different. If you're with the right person, words don't need to be spoken. And you're still sharing energies. But it's a much different thing. If you're with the right person, you heal and you become, it's like a regeneration of energy. You're creating new life, new energy. If you're with the wrong person, you feel drained. You feel something's not right. You feel your energy sucked. So you can tell if it's right or wrong by if you feel renewed by it, or if you feel, and you're with the wrong person, if you're drained by it. And again, words do not need to be spoken. And if you're with the right person, words should not even be necessary. In my chapter in my book, Heal Yourself 101, I devoted a little chapter to having your own space and time. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it. It's so important to find a quiet little place where it's just you, where there's nobody there but you, and it's just you recharging your batteries on your own. And you need that. Everybody needs that quiet space and time where you don't have to ask you're not asked any questions, you don't have to answer, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to answer for yourself, explain yourself, acknowledge anybody. And that is what everybody needs. As part of the healing process is staying vital and young, is to honor each other's individuality, give each other their space. And then when you get together, you celebrate the togetherness, but you also celebrate the aloneness. You need to be okay by being by yourself for a little while every day. And that's important. That's important. Just like sleep is important compared to being awake. You need time to recharge. So that's kind of important. So I call it talk fasting, where you just wind down your talking at the end of the day, and for the last 2 hours you don't talk. And for the first 2 hours when you wake up, you don't talk. And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful, where you just get to really take note of everything in your life. And when you wake up the next day, you're a new child. And you're given time to look around and wonder and think about all the stuff that could happen. And you can plan your day without anybody interfering in your mind. And it's beautiful when you're with somebody that can honor that. And I know a lot of you say, well, I can't do that. I don't have any time. I'm busy. I have jobs. I have children. I got to feed my husband, whatever it is. Trust me, just try to work your way towards that. Find some time for yourself. Talk to your family about it. Talk to your spouse about it. And try to work that out, that understanding, to where you honor each other's space. It's so important to need that. And that's why I think a lot of people are snapping each other's heads off in the morning, and they're just crabby as hell in the morning because they don't have that necessary time to themselves. Even if it means getting up earlier. Get up before everyone else. Get up at like 5 in the morning if you have to, just to have that time. A lot of people say, I really like it the most when everybody's asleep and it's 2 in the morning, and yeah, that's because nobody's bothering you. It's just you. But you don't have to wait till 2 in the morning to do that. You shouldn't have to. Start winding down at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So between 8 and 10 p.m., no talking, just you winding down. You don't have to be alone in the room. Just give each other that space at least. And then be asleep by 10. Try it. I mean, you don't have to do it, but that's what I do. And I find out after a while that a lot of monks do that. It's an Asian thing. A lot of people, they actually go through different times of the year where they don't talk for 2 weeks. There's something really cool about not having to open your mouth and say anything. That you are accepted for just being, to exist. All right, I'm rambling on here, but this is I'm enlightening you to my life. It's a little bit different to some people. And it might open some eyes to some people as to how life can be, and some things that might help some people that are just full of angst and stress and don't know what to do. So again, this falls under the category of simplifying your life, getting rid of things. Get rid of the need to have to explain yourself all the time, to have to talk. Simplify your life and watch what happens. Good night. I'll talk to you next time.